All right, so today we're learning about thaumatropes. And thaumatropes is an old Victorian toy from the 1800s. It's Greek, thauma meaning magic, and trope is something that spins. So that the way that these work is because of the persistence of vision. Anyone know what that might be? Willie? Any guesses? Well, basically, everything that you're looking at right now is burned into your eyeball for about a 1/12 of a second. So everything is kind of a mixture of everything that you're looking at right now and what you saw before. It's the way that movies work. Has anyone heard about the new Hobbit movie?
Yeah.
And the frame rate's a little quicker? Because the frame rate is quicker, it refreshes in your eye quicker and it seems a little bit more vivid. So I'm going to show a couple of optical illusions in a minute, but before we get started on thaumatropes, I want you guys to kind of think about how this works. So there's an opportunity to blend two images together. Classic one is the bird in the cage. So on the access points is probably where you're going to see the best illusion. So when you're starting to conceptualize ideas, think about how this works. So that's essentially what we're going to come up with. We're either going to come up with one where you blend two images together to make one, or you're going to do an image that's kind of sequential. Maybe an explosion. You know, you've got your bomb and then the explosion. So think of things in sequence to one another. You can notice the same things when you rub a couple of coins together. So if you take a couple of quarters and kind of move them quickly through your hands, you'll notice the same thing. I'm sure you've all seen this before, maybe in math books.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen this before?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to turn off the lights real quick, and what I want you to do is, I'm sure you guys do this oftentimes, but you know when your eyes kind of space out and they kind of, it seems like you're looking past something? What I want you to do is I want you to stare at this red dot for at least 30 seconds. Okay? So let's get rolling. So 30 seconds, just stare at that red dot. Okay. You still see the flag, right?
Oh, wow. Wait, is that a white screen?
It's a white screen.
Oh, that is
Yeah. Any guesses on why this works?
It's been burned into your vision so long that right when it switches over, it still presents that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Any other thoughts on how this works? Like more specifically?
Magic.
So the reason it works is because you have two things. You have rods and cones. The cones allow you to see color. The rods allow you to see black and white. So when you were looking at the inverse of the flag, your cones got really worn out. So you'd see the turquoise, and then when I flipped it to a white screen, it looks like it's red. So your eye, exactly, was kind of burned out of that image. So we're going to do one, and this is burning out kind of the rods in your eyes. Try to relax your eyes a little bit. Okay? So 1 solid minute, starting now. Oh, Jesus! Okay, now relax your eyes even more now. You see the white screen.
Oh my
Try to,
God.
can you see it? You can almost feel like it's sculptural, really.
Oh
There.
my
Really stands
God.
out in the
It's
page.
still
Exactly.
Keep looking.
All right.
It's crazy.
Just burned into your mind. So there's a lot of opportunities to stick these together. Here's an old Victorian example of one, and these were really popular. This is before the internet and YouTube. So a lot of optical illusions in Victorian times were really popular. I mean, you'd have stereoptic photos and a lot of different illusions like this. What I wanted to do was show a quick example of a zoetrope. A zoetrope is essentially a wheel that's kind of doing the same thing. Willie, can you help explain how a zoetrope works?
Alright, so a zoetrope takes the different images and you spin it, then there's a separation between each one,
Mm-hmm.
and
What's the separation?
well, normally it's just one of the holes in the wheel, so you have the pictures on the inside and then you just spin it
Right,
and the holes switch and they go through,
exactly.
and because there's the separation it
It's
brings
acts as a shutter, kind of.
Yeah.
Yep. So I was going to show this cool video. Pixar did a really neat thing where they made zoetropes sculpturally. So I thought I'd show this one. This is another example of a very basic form of animation, and then we're going to jump right into making these thaumatropes.
How animation works is it's a trick. When you go to a movie, you're basically seeing 24 still images every second. It's like a flip book. As I flip through here, you can see that each drawing is a little different than the last one. And then as I flip through at speed, the illusion of movement is created.
Pixar really wanted to show the public how animation works, and one of the ideas to do this was to build something called a zoetrope.
Zoetropes go back to the 19th century. If you imagine a barrel with little slots and images, each a little different from the last, it's like a shutter, and it shows you a little glimpse of that drawing across the way, and they appear to move. Studio Ghibli has this amazing three-dimensional zoetrope. John Lasseter had seen the zoetrope there, and I think he said, "I've never seen an object that so well describes the basic premise of animation." When it was suggested that we do one for ourselves, it was a no-brainer. Instead of drawings, we're using sculptures. So what you're seeing are 18 different sculptures, each slightly different than the last one. And instead of flipping through them, we're using a strobe light to make those images stick in your eye. And these spinning images freeze in space. And each sculpture replaces the last one and appears to move. It's stunning because it looks like it's come to life right in front of you.
I think that the zoetrope is the clearest explanation of animation, because on the disc you get to see every frame of animation before your current frame where you're looking, and every frame of animation after it. Here you have the opportunity to see the tricks the animator used to make things move.
It's a very simple mechanism, it's a very simple idea, but somehow seeing that come to life right in front of you is really fantastic.
What I'd like you to do is conceptualize an idea. Come up with a few strong ones. It's kind of up to you. It's your choice. You saw the bird in the cage. Think about two images that you can either smash together to make one image, or a zoetrope that works well sequentially as you move it slowly. So registration is really important. So when you create the zoetrope, you're going to create 4 crop marks. And essentially what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to trace with a piece of parchment. It's going to allow you to trace your subsequent image. So let's say you've got your bird. It's a quick bird. Anyway, he could be better. Anyway, so there's your bird. And what I'd like you to do is you're going to take a piece of tracing paper, you're going to lay it over the top of it, and you're going to register it by just ticking these crop marks, and then you're going to do the subsequent one. Okay, so you're going to draw your cage kind of over the bird. That way it lines up correctly. What's very crucial about this is you need to flip it 180 degrees. Any guesses why?
Because when you flip it, it's going to change direction.
Exactly. You change direction when you flip it. So what I'd like to do is quickly show you guys some that the 8th graders have made. And does everybody know Maddie Donovan?
Maybe.
I think this one is one of my favorites because it is magic. Bird coming, or the
Rabbit out of the hat.
rabbit out of the hat. Also, so I'll pass around a couple of these if you want to play with them, just to see kind of how the action works. Sid did a really cool sword fighting one. There's the whale. Pass them along. This one is cool. Regina did this one. It's apples on one side, the tree on another. When you mix them together, it makes a really cool illusion.
Could you do this with a box instead of a circle? And like have
I find that this circle shape works the best. You could do it with a square.
No,
Totally.
I mean like a cube and have 4 different sides.
Oh, I never thought about it like that. I bet you it's possible with the way your eyes work.
Yeah.
Okay, so also Hannah did one. This one is a little bit better because it speaks to the sequential rather than the 2 images stuck together. So if you move slowly, you can see like the dancing feet. But if you move too quickly, it just blends it together. So just play with them slowly. See? The ballerina dancing. So this is what we're going to be doing today. I've cut out all the circles. Think about it like this. You're either putting 2 together, or you're having a sequence of images, kind of like, yeah, kind of like this one. But I feel like this is a good one
Seems like the 2 together don't work
to
terribly
talk
well.
about it. First thing that I'd like you guys to do is pass the ruler around,
You see both of them. See the whole picture.
or a straight edge, or something, and just make your crop marks so it registers on the same mark.
2 things together.
Yeah.
Form the money.
Banana.
So you can do like.
So for now, the crop marks are just to register it. It really doesn't matter for the actual functionality of the thaumatrope. Because in the end, you can either tape it, or you can like poke a hole in it.
What? Coffee.
Could you do something like that, like closed to open?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Like a flower blooming.
Really good idea.
Mm-hmm. All right, so start your first sketch on
So I
this.
do it on just
Yeah.
one side?
Here's what you want to do. Just take the pencil box and just make a crop mark here. You know what I mean? Here, here,
Okay.
and then, you know, right now you're just trying to get it so it hits the same spot
Okay.
on the other side. And you can just do that by looking at the other side and make a mark. Can everyone take a look at this just for a second?
Yeah.
Once you have your crop marks, kind of make a mark on the edge, and then you'll know where you're going for your next
Yeah.
crop mark. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. The banana with the bite taken out of it. What Monica's going to do is she's going to make the crop marks. Okay? She's going to trace this image kind of verbatim, but the only thing that you're going to do differently is kind of have the bite taken out.
Okay.
So trace
Oh.
that, and then what's going to happen is you're going to flip it 180 degrees and burnish it on. Transfer.
Is it going to be
Okay.
exact? Can we see what the crop marks are saying? Put them
Yeah, you need to, the crop marks need to be on both sides.
I know exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So that way you can just flip it. Let's just burnish that on there real quick, Monica, to make sure that we've got
Yeah, the
Everything-
lines don't.
quite match up. Okay, let's try to do it the best we can. So we've got this. So that needs to be 180 like that. Whoa. What happened there? Looks right. I think it's gotta be like that. Okay. It's
What
close.
are you doing here, Lindsay?
So let's burnish it on.
I'm drawing a flower
Use,
with petals that are gonna fall down.
Alright, so just work it around like that. Okay?
All right.
Try to hold it down so it doesn't move over here. Yep, that's right. So yeah, that's right, folks.
Something other than this, though. Other than
That's fine. But remember, once you trace it, you need to flip the tracing paper, redraw it, and that's how you burnish it on. Because it's not only is it flipped 180, it's also backwards.
Okay.
Because you've traced it. You
If
know what I
I'm
mean?
drawing-
So
Could I have pictures?
I know it sounds a little confusing, but if you trace it and then you lay it down, it's going to put a backwards image on.
If I'm doing a
okay.
different
Monica,
image
can I see for a sec?
than the one I
You can always just double check by just quickly going like this. See? And I can kind of tell how it works.
Can I use just paper?
Here.
Then I'm drawing something else.
If I've got the coffee mug, I'm not adding the coffee mug to the second image.
You don't have to.
Wait, I'm not going to. So do I still want to trace it though, right? Or do I just want to trace the?
You want to know where it is. pretty much.
Yeah, you do. Maybe you could just make a couple of crop marks where it is.
Okay.
But you're filling the liquid up, right?
Right.
So fill the liquid up and draw the pot. And I think,
Right. So fill this up, fill this up,
yeah,
but then draw the pot. But I don't need to do.
you don't need to redraw the cup. No, especially if you're not, if you're blending two images together. You only have to draw it once.
Okay.
So I'm sure you guys have seen animated GIFs on the internet.
Yeah.
This is kind of the basics of making an animated GIF. So you've got two images, but when you poke two holes on the access point, and then tie a rubber band in. See if it works?
How did you tie it?
Yep.
It's glued at the end.
Mm-hmm. Because you can touch it up when you're done. What's up?
So this is what I'm going to transfer over.
Yeah, you need to do it on the other side.
Right.
So trace that again.
Oh.
See what I mean?
okay.
So it's a mirror image and it's 180. So you have it drawn on the other side.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's burnish. My man.
Yeah.
Let's have a big moment in the cinema with it. Excellent. Okay, and then try to line up with your crop marks the best you can, really. You know.
Is it gonna?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But wait. Yeah. Right. Yeah, just guess and check. I mean, if it's not working, there's a reason it's not working. If you flip it quickly, kind of like this, your eye. Take a look, guys. If you just go like this, it's going to help to see if this illusion kind of matches up. Very cool. I think we came up with some good ideas today.
Yeah. That's cool.
Nice work today, folks.
I
Okay,
use
thanks for all.
scissors.
Sure.
That one's awesome.